Lump sat alone in a boggy marsh, totally motionless except for her heart. Mud flowed up through Lump's pajamas and totally amused all the passing piranhas. She's Lump.
3, 2, 1.
Excuse me. Ready to make the gizmo, huh, kids?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chilling with Sasquatch or Sasquatch with Migraine, whichever one you prefer to call it. How do I sound? Am I doing right? Is this right? That's a little bit hot. We'll back that off a little bit. All right, so today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a look at a Medal of Honor recipient, a total GiggaChad. My man single-handedly brings down 4 enemy tanks by himself, 9 shots, and a couple of rockets. Now, that's not GiggaChad material. I don't know what is. We're going to check out the possible root sources of the Humpty Dumpty story and some other stuff. We're going to do other things too. I've got a whole litany of things lined up over here. At some point in time, I'm going to drop the link in the chat and perhaps we'll expand out into a farther ranging afield type thing. But until then, I might do the rest of this show and do it in my Southern Baptist preacher voice. I haven't decided. But what's his name? Why is his name so forgettable? Dirk J Vlug, absolute GiggaChad. Check this out.
Dirk J Vlug was born August 20th, 1916 in Maple Lake, Minnesota. When World War II rolled around, Dirk joined the United States Army in April of 1941. Come December 15th, 1944, Vlug was serving in the Philippines as a private first class in the 126th Infantry, 32nd Infantry Division. Tasked with most certainly a monotonous job of standing guard at a roadblock on the Ormoc Road. PFC Vlug noticed a group of Japanese tanks. Rather than take cover or even call for reinforcements, PFC Vlug left his cover position, taking a rocket launcher and 6 rockets along with him. He advanced towards the tanks alone, dodging machine gun fire and 37mm fire. Loading single-handedly, Vlug destroyed the first tank and its occupants with a single well-placed rocket. The second tank halted as its crew began to dismount to engage Vlug, but Vlug returned fire with his pistol, killing one.
All right, so picture this. There's these tanks approaching. Got MG32s and shit lined up over there, whatever it was, 37 millimeters. Lined up over there. And homie's response was to grab some rockets and a pistol and be like, I got this. Y'all don't sweat yourselves. I'll be right back. Yeah, 37 millimeters, probably tank guns. I'm thinking Cheros, perhaps. What's up, Janica? Good to see you. Hold on, let's go back through chat right quick. Smoking Auditor is dubbing in. Ajot is the unicorn, apparently. There's an argument over who's going to be the jackalope. Nope. Smoking Auditor's got dibs on jackalope. Claiborne County Transparency. Dennis Bowles has joined the chat. We have Scrappy Dreams. Welcome back. Welcome in. Welcome to your first time. All over again. Got Snark and Sass. Who that? That's who. That's you. What you do? We got motherfucking LBG. What's up, bud? Shaking bacon. Janica's come in. We got John Denicola. What's up, bud? Good to see all you folks. As I like seeing my peepses. Oh yeah, I gotta update something. Let me see. Meant to do this before. Apparently, I'm a moron. So
One of the crewmen. The remaining tank crewmen returned to their tank, but in vain. Vlug yet again sent a rocket directly into their tank, killing the entire crew. 3 more hostile tanks showed up, so PFC Vlug flanked the first, destroying it in the process. Despite a barrage of enemy fire, he managed to destroy the 4th tank. Vlug, with his last remaining round, struck the final tank, which subsequently caused it to crash down an embankment. For these actions, PFC Vlug received the Medal of Honor June 26, 1946.
hey man, he's a fairly handsome fellow over there. Don't lie, you know you'd kiss him in a dark alley if you had a few cocktails in you. I know I would.
With all the grit PFC Vlug could muster, he managed to destroy 5 enemy tanks, which is a pretty accomplished day, in my opinion. While seemingly greatness was thrust upon him, PFC Vlug rose to the occasion.
Wait, whoa, that's not a Chiro. What is that?
Without hesitation. He could have easily said, "Not my problem. I didn't sign up for this." But he met the problem head on with exactly what he had available to him and made no qualms about it. And by the way, he may have been a PFC in 1944, but after leaving the Army, he joined the Michigan National Guard in 1949 and retired in January 1951 at the rank of Master Sergeant.
Oh, cool.
Obviously, he was doing something right to rise in the ranks that quickly. So what can we learn from all this? You know, he had a seemingly boring job.
You know what the lesson here is? When you get the opportunity to GiggaChad, you should immediately GiggaChad. Yes. Yes. You can take them with a razor blade. All 17 of them. I got faith in you.
Sitting there watching a road that he probably assumed nothing would ever happen, but all of a sudden something did. And he went after it like a roaring lion.
I take it euphemisms aren't his strong suit.
Duck for cover. He didn't even call for reinforcements. He just went after the enemy. And men like this, I thank God that I live in the United States of America, because these are heroes that we can look up to. He died many, many years later at 79 years old, so he lived a seemingly full life. There's not much written else about him.
Well, can you blame him? He killed
there's
5
nothing really much
tanks
to say.
barehanded.
The man was a
He
hero.
went home, went to bed.
And there's many more like
bedded
him,
women the rest of his life on that story.
which
You seen my Medal of
leads
Honor?
me into Memorial Day, which there's no one that understands.
I mean, you know, you had to be hell at parties. Every single time he got a little bit lit, he'd be like, you know, this one time when I was in the Army, I killed 5 takes all by myself. See, there I was. You know, or probably not. Back then, men were a lot more stoic. He probably didn't like talking about it because, quite frankly, he killed a lot of men that day.
The memorial side more than a Golden Star family or people that have served that have lost friends. And, you know, go out there and have fun. Do whatever it is that you want to do to celebrate, because I'm pretty sure that's what they would want you to do anyway. Now, it is a solemn holiday, and I think that we should take a moment to honor those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, because, again, freedom is not free. It's paid for and bought by those that are willing to give up their lives and those that do. They gave up everything that ever would be or ever could be or ever were. And
oh, no.
We should honor that.
I have done
Absolutely. So for the Gold Star families, fellow veterans, and families of veterans, and just American patriots, people that love America and love the military and what it stands for, thank you. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. And remember the words of Jesus Christ said in John 15:13.
I just punched my Red Bull across my laptop with a good solid right hook. That's very strange.
Greater love has no one than this, that someone would lay down his life for his friends. Truer words were never spoken. God bless America.
Hello, Orb Puff. Welcome in, darling. Good to see you. I appreciate you coming in. All right.
In the shadowy
what is going on over here? That's coming in on like my family group thing. Or what? Who are you? I don't know you. Go away. Leave me alone. Humpty Dumpty. What do you know about Humpty Dumpty? Oh, every little thing is just fine. Let me tell you, girl. We was walking down the street earlier today. A little storm blew up, and we had a little limb blow down right in front of us while we was walking down the commons. It was the most amazing sight. I mean, the breeze just blew right on through, snatched them leaves right off that limb, threw them right down in the road. How was that? Good for small talk?
recesses of history, where fact and fable intertwine, lies the puzzling tale of a beloved nursery rhyme whose origins have remained veiled in mystery for centuries.
Was he
The
really
timeless
an egg,
and
though?
whimsical verses of Humpty Dumpty have graced the
All right,
lips of countless
so
children.
let's go over it. Do we all agree the Humpty Dumpty, it goes, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could never put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is accurate enough for discussion. Yes?
Children, invoking laughter and wonder in equal measure. Yet beneath its seemingly innocent facade lies a tale as peculiar as it is surprising, a narrative that ventures into the realms of war, politics, and intrigue. Prepare to embark on a journey through the chronicles of time, where a shattered egg transforms into a mystery that unravels across the ages, leaving us to ponder.
I am the walrus. I am the Eggman. Cuckoo, ka-choo, ka-choo, ka-choo.
Was Humpty Dumpty more than just a whimsical children's rhyme, and what secrets might its perplexing origins reveal? Just a whimsical children's
Look at that
rhyme.
nightmarish freaking entity. I think it's got to be a cautionary tale about eggs on walls. It's just Don't do it. Look at it. It's not worth it. Jesus.
And what secrets might its perplexing origins reveal? Welcome back, Darklings, to the Resurrectionists, where we breathe life into history, delve into ghostly realms, and explore everything that goes bump in the night. If you haven't joined our weird and wonderful family yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because trust us, you won't want to miss a single spine-chilling update.
And I'm dead serious. Like, just about every single one of these people's videos, I sit in rapt silence through the whole thing and just watch it. Sometimes it's a little dry because some of the subject matter isn't exactly all that interesting, but at the same time, it's very well done. The art is bar none.
At first glance, Humpty Dumpty appears to be a mere ditty intended to tickle the imagination of the young and old alike. The image of a portly, egg-shaped character precariously perched upon a wall evokes playful whimsy, a charming scene of nursery rhyme merriment. Yet, as with many tales whispered through the ages...
Yes, no. There was a portly gentleman whose horse's name was Wall. I remember this. He named his horse Wall because it was so big, I think.
The reality behind the rhyme's origins proves far more complex and intriguing. Hidden within the verses are echoes of a turbulent era, a time when the clash for power and wealth created a much darker meaning than meets the eye. The earliest known written account of the Humpty Dumpty rhyme can be traced back to its inclusion in Samuel Arnold's Juvenile Amusements in 1797, but the rhyme is likely...
And I'll be honest with you, I have yet to find a way a chicken can be prepared that I'm not willing to eat it. I mean, there's better and worse ways to do a chicken, but chicken's A-okay in my book, bro. Sasquatch approves.
Much older still. The verses in this rendition go, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. 80 men and 80 more could not make Humpty Dumpty where he was before. By 1810, another variant emerged in Gamma Gurton's Garland.
If the chicken had the egg, the chicken came before the egg was conceived. But if the egg hatched the chicken, then the egg clearly came first. Are we discussing it from an evolutionary perspective or a biological perspective? Are we discussing it from a religious perspective or merely the metaphysical aspect of what is egg?
Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. 80 men and 80 more cannot place Humpty Dumpty as he was before.
Yeah, that's my two favorite types of chicken myself, fried chicken and deep fried chicken. I'm from the South, baby. That's the way we roll.
In a manuscript edition of Mother Goose's Melody, a different closing line appears, could not set Humpty Dumpty up again. Across all these instances, the concluding line implies that rather than being broken into pieces, Humpty Dumpty simply couldn't be reinstated on the wall by any number of individuals. These original verses hold significance as they align with one of the prevailing theories surrounding the rhyme's origin. During the English Civil War in 1648, Colchester, a town under siege, is said to have had a colossal artillery piece that stood atop the town.
You don't have to reach so hard, bro. And God created two of each animal, correct? He put the animals and plants upon the earth, brought the earth up, split the waters, put the land for the man to use it. And then he made man and woman. Before he made man and woman, he made all the birds and creatures of the land. So with the fact that we know there are hundreds of thousands of species and subspecies of bird, what's the chances the very first one he made was a chicken?
Town's walls. Despite inflicting substantial damage upon the approaching parliamentarian forces, this huge cannon, affectionately known as Humpty Dumpty, met
a... All right, so like collard greens are kind of like kale, right? They're like low-growing kale. They don't grow as tall as kale typically does, and their leaves aren't quite as, I don't know, succulent maybe, but they're very similar to like turnip greens. But collards have a little bit more of a robust texture to them. They basically are very much like cabbage, but with a tuber. I mean, some ham hock, a little bit of hog jaw. Yeah, it'll do you some good.
To tragic fate. It is said that enemy fire caused the wall beneath it to collapse, resulting in the great cannon
But the question was, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And in the event that God created two pigeons before he created two chickens, then there's a good chance those pigeons had an egg before those chickens came along. That's all I'm saying, bro.
toppling to the ground. Given the cannon's immense size and weight, the numerous attempts by men to hoist it back onto the wall.
Hold up now. Collard greens done properly are excellent. Kale can be done correctly. It's just that they're not associated with Southern cooking. Like, I guarantee you take some of that kale and cook them up like it was collard greens, it might be better than collard greens. I don't know. I like to take some honey cured ham, chop it up really fine, and put it in my collard greens, boil it up real good before I put the greens in, and then boil them down, dude. Should make you slap several generations of your family for not doing it.
Proved futile. Eventually, Colchester had no
Hello,
choice but to
sunshine.
surrender and open its gates.
Hello,
The
Izzy.
1648 siege
Hello,
of Colchester
Aja.
stands as a poignant
You
chapter
got mail.
in the turbulent tapestry
Hello,
of the
Boa.
English Civil War. Could the Humpty Dumpty rhyme be an echo that reverberates through time, a testament to the indomitable spirit?
All right. So there's this misunderstanding about grits. A lot of people think grits is just ground up corn, but that's not grits. That's cornmeal. That's a totally different thing from grits. Grits are a specific type of corn, ground up prepared and ground a specific type of way so as to make grits. They do not grow on trees. They are corn. The corn before it's ground up is called hominy, and it has virtually no flavor whatsoever. You can make that stuff taste like anything you want. My preference is take a couple of sausage patties, a little bit of ham, some bacon, a couple of runny ass eggs, drop them off into the same bowl of grits, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe a shot of cheese in yonder. You know, you got to have it all balanced. So you got all your food groups, the yum groups, the num num groups, the nom nom group, and the crunchy group. You get them all in there together, and it's just a vehicle for flavor. You don't actually eat the grits. They're just there, kind of like rice.
And sacrifices of those who fought on both sides during this pivotal moment in England's past. Interestingly, during the 17th century, the term Humpty Dumpty was associated with a peculiar cocktail, a blend of brandy and ale.
Bro, if I come to your house and you're not in the South and you serve me instant grits, I would understand. But if you are a Southern gentleman and I come into your house and you serve me instant grits, I will be soundly and roundly offended, because damn, I could have done this and we'd have done much better.
Ale heated together. As time marched on in the 1800s, the term was used to describe a short, clumsy person, or even someone who might have indulged in a bit too much drink.
Hello, Terry.
These
King.
historical
Welcome in.
threads
Good
lead some
see
experts
you.
to speculate that the origins of Humpty Dumpty might have been less of a song or rhyme and more of an intriguing riddle or puzzle, given its short four-sentence structure and multifaceted meanings. During the period spanning the 17th century, riddles achieved an unparalleled popularity in England, captivating minds and fostering a culture of intellectual engagement and amusement. The intricate and puzzling nature of riddles provided a unique form of entertainment and mental stimulation.
And this is another one of those severe understatements that is technically correct, but also it's sort of it is. You're not wrong. Hominy is boiled corn, but not just any corn. It has to be the particular types of corn that make hominy. And when you boil them up, you do it in a pressure thing, and they pop up like yay big around, and it looks like some kind of mutant species of corn or something. But it's just a certain type of white corn, like Silver Queen or something like that. So you can't just go out and get some yellow corn or some regular dent corn or some sweet corn and make hominy. That's not how that works. But grits, classically grits, are hominy. They're the same corn, dried, ground, and then rehydrated in a pressure vessel, and then dehydrated down to being grits, something like that.
resonating with both the literate
Actually, I
elite
think that might be the way instant grits are made. Come to think of it. I think you just grind up the dry corn to make grits.
and the common folk alike. Riddles, with their clever wordplay, symbolism, and unexpected twists, became a favored pastime, gracing the pages of literature, tavern conversations, and courtly gatherings. These puzzling conundrums served as a delightful exercise for wit and imagination, reflecting the cultural backdrop of the time and offering a communal experience that transcended social boundaries. Considering this idea adds an interesting twist to Humpty Dumpty's history, suggesting that beneath its simple words, there might have been a tricky puzzle waiting to be solved by curious minds in the past. Among these popular interpretations lies a sinister theory, suggesting that the infamous Humpty Dumpty represented none other than King Richard III. Richard III's brief but significant reign over the English throne, spanning just 2 years from 1483 to 1485, was as treacherous as it was tantalizing. As the Crimson Curtain
And yes, ma'am, you are absolutely correct. I understand how this works. My point is, I don't believe you would do that. You would hear my accent and know instantly that you'd better make pancakes or bacon or something and just skip the grits.
descended upon his brother's reign, King Edward IV, the stage seemed set for his son, Edward V, to ascend. However, in 1483, Edward was still a minor, prompting the selection of Richard as regent until the
That
young
is
heir
the
came of age.
lifetime of man, bro. Not the oldest riddle ever told, but it's one of the oldest ones recorded. That is a man. In the early days, he crawls, then he walks on 2 legs, then he walks with a cane. That's the question that the Sphinx asked, what you fuck? Anyway.
Richard, like a raven perched upon the throne's edge, shrewdly seized this opportunity for personal gain. He orchestrated the placement of Edward and his younger sibling Richard within the confines of the Tower of London, from which they never reappeared. Their voices silenced, their image lost to the winds of time, their fates etched in mystery, for it is not known exactly what became of the 2 young princes. However, the prevailing belief is that Richard had his 2 young nephews killed.
I think he was cracked loose from this mortal coil, chick. I mean, like, I think he died.
Clearing his path to
Remember, they couldn't put him back together. It's pretty well toast, right?
usurp the throne that awaited. The name Humpty Dumpty could be a cruel nickname referencing the king's appearance. Tudor historians at the time mocked the king as being deformed or having a humped back. Shakespeare perpetuated this idea, famously describing him as a poisonous bump-backed toad in his historical play, which was first performed in the early 1600s. However, in August 2012, an archaeological dig under a car park...
Yeah, but it's no fun to answer riddles you know the answer to. I really wanted to leave it there, you know. That's why I highlighted it and just left it there. I was hoping somebody else would answer it. But now you all know, and you will immediately forget. And if you're asked at the end of the path, at the clearing at the end of the path, at the end of your life, that riddle, you will not remember the answer. You're welcome.
Esther unearthed a skeleton with battle wounds and a curved spine. These remains were later identified through DNA testing as Richard III and showed, rather than being deformed, that he had scoliosis, which may have made one shoulder appear lower than the other. Additionally, Richard III had a horse allegedly called Wall, possibly a reference to the animal's size and stature. The wall in the rhyme could also refer to his rule over England. Richard was defeated in the Battle of Bosworth Field, a pivotal clash in English history, which took place on August 22nd, 1485. It marked the culmination of the Wars of the Roses, a decades-long power struggle between the rival houses of Lancaster and York for control of the English throne. The battle unfolded near Market Bosworth in Leicestershire, England, where King Richard III of the Yorkists faced off against Henry Tudor, Earl of Richmond, leading the Lancastrian forces. Richard III's reign had been...
I always like these old paintings, especially like that one right there. It's a really cool one. if you go back and you look at this entire painting and you get down real small and look at all the little weird dots and stuff, a lot of times those are like animals. And when you get real close, you can tell like that's a little cat and that's a bird. And there's a mouse.
Earl of Richmond, leading the Lancastrian forces. Richard III's reign had been marred by controversy and discontent, and the battle saw his forces outnumbered and outmaneuvered by Henry Tudor's troops. The battle ended with Richard's death and Henry Tudor's victory, paving the way for the Tudor dynasty to ascend to the English throne as Henry VII. The line of the rhyme that claims all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again, may be a macabre representation of Richard III falling and being bludgeoned to death on the battlefield. The Battle of Bosworth Field
I also
not
have
only
to,
ended the wars of
in the classic words of mandatory carry, throw a flag on the play. Are we considering a king a politician currently? Asking for a friend, bro.
the Roses, but also marked the dawn of a new era in English history, shaping the course of the nation's monarchy and politics for generations to come. The most observant among you may have noticed an intriguing omission within the Humpty Dumpty nursery rhyme, the absence of any direct reference to Humpty as an egg. Yet fascinatingly, this particular image has seamlessly woven itself into our perception through popular culture. The origin of an egg character can be directly
Disney.
traced back to the 19th century, an era adorned with the brilliance of Lewis Carroll, the mastermind behind the beloved Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
And a
In his
Peter.
fantastical novel, Through the Looking Glass, Carroll introduces us to a whimsical figure, Humpty Dumpty, an egg-shaped character with an endearing quirkiness. Since then, Humpty Dumpty has been universally recognized as an egg.
Yeah, I'm good with it. We can
The
blame
exact
the
reason
English.
for its longevity remains a mystery.
You can do that.
Some suggest that Lewis Carroll's portrayal adeptly mirrored the vulnerability of the rhyme,
Ain't no hair off my
while others
squatch.
persist that it simply struck a chord in the vivid imaginations of children. Regardless of the exact reasoning, Humpty's fate had been sealed, and from then on, Humpty Dumpty has been synonymous with the image of an egg. As we reflect upon the surprising origins of Humpty Dumpty, let us not only revel in the delight of its playful verses, but also cherish the secrets it imparts, reminding us that even the most unassuming tales can be gateways to a world of discovery, wonder, and mystery. Stay tuned because the adventure doesn't end here. We have more chilling tales, haunting history, and strange practices to uncover in future videos. Until then,
That was neat. That was the resurrectionists with the plurality of that word. I swear to God, one day I'll actually be a professional at this. I'll remember how all of this works. Ancient Scythians or Tornadors? Well, Scythians is only 5 minutes. All right, so this is Arthur's history, right?
The ancient Scythians were
Hold on. I'll let you get to it in just a second. First, I want to show these folks this. 285 subscribers, and my man's doing magnificent work over here. Would you please move that out of my way, bro? I can't see. There we go. God, when the computer strikes back. Replace the pinned message. Yes, we shall do it. Yes. Sorry, that's probably the Red Bull coming out.
nomadic people who lived in the Eurasian steppes from the 8th century BC to the 3rd century CE. They were known for their fierce warrior culture, horsemanship, and their intricate art and craftsmanship. In this video, we will explore the history, culture, and legacy of the Scythians. The Scythians were a confederation of tribes that roamed the vast steppes of Central Asia, from the Black Sea in the west to the Altai Mountains in the east. They were skilled horsemen and archers, and their mobility and tactical prowess made them a formidable force on the battlefield. The Scythians were also known for their unique burial customs, which involved burying the dead in elaborate tombs filled with treasures and artifacts. These tombs provide valuable insights into the Scythian way of life, their beliefs, and their artistic achievements. In this video, we will delve into the history of the Scythians, their social structure, their economy,
Tails.
their
Welcome
religion,
in.
and their
Good to
art.
see ya.
We will also explore the impact
That's
of the
tales
Scythians
told
on
in
the
the
ancient
dark,
world and
folks.
their legacy in modern times. Join us on this journey to discover the fascinating world of the ancient Scythians. The Scythians emerged as a distinct culture in the 8th century BCE, and their influence spread rapidly across the Eurasian steppes. They were a confederation of tribes, each with its own chieftain and warriors. The Scythians were a patriarchal society, with men holding most of the power and women playing a subordinate role. The Scythians were skilled horsemen and archers, and their nomadic lifestyle allowed them to move quickly and adapt to changing circumstances. They were also skilled traders, and their extensive trade networks brought them into contact with other cultures, including the Greeks, Persians, and Chinese. The Scythians were organized into clans, each with its own territory and leadership. The clans were united under a supreme chieftain, who was responsible for maintaining order and resolving disputes between the clans. The Scythians were also known for their unique social customs, including the practice of tattooing and the use of cannabis in religious ceremonies. They were a polytheistic society, with a pantheon of gods and goddesses that reflected their nomadic lifestyle and their connection to the natural world. Despite their fierce reputation as warriors, the Scythians were also skilled artisans and craftsmen. They produced intricate gold jewelry, weapons, and other artifacts that were highly prized by other cultures. In the next segment, we will explore the economy and trade networks of the Scythians, as well as their religious beliefs and artistic achievements. The Scythians were a nomadic people who relied on their herds of horses, cattle, and sheep for their livelihood. They were skilled at horse breeding and horsemanship, and their horses were highly prized for their speed and endurance. The Scythians were also...
Xena was Amazon, dude. Xena, warrior, Amazon, princess. Is that not right? She wasn't Scythian, I don't believe. Scythian.
skilled traders, and their extensive trade networks brought them into contact with other cultures across the Eurasian steppes. They traded in a variety of goods, including furs, wool, leather, and honey. They also traded in slaves, which were a valuable commodity in the ancient world. The Scythians were particularly known for their production of gold and other precious metals. They mined gold from the rivers and streams of the Altai Mountains, and their skilled artisans produced intricate gold jewelry, weapons, and other artifacts that were highly prized by other cultures. The Scythians also played an important role in the Silk Road trade network, which connected China with the Mediterranean world. They acted as intermediaries between the Chinese and the Greeks, Persians, and other cultures, facilitating the exchange of goods and ideas.
Now I want a cookie.
Despite their nomadic
Why you showed me a cookie and got no cookie for me? I don't like that.
lifestyle, the Scythians had a complex economy and social structure. They had a system of tribute and taxation, and their chieftains were responsible
But I'll trade your cream pie for a cream pie.
for maintaining order and resolving disputes between the clans. In the next segment, we will explore the religious beliefs and artistic achievements of the Scythians. The Scythians were a polytheistic society, with a pantheon of gods and goddesses that reflected their nomadic lifestyle and their connection to the natural world. They believed in a variety of deities, including a sky god, a sun god, and a goddess of fertility. The Scythians also practiced shamanism, a spiritual practice that involved communicating with the spirit world through trance-like states. Shamans played an important role in Scythian society, serving as healers, diviners, and intermediaries between the living and the dead. The Scythians were also known for their artistic achievements, particularly in the production of gold and other precious metals. They produced intricate gold jewelry, weapons, and other artifacts that were highly prized by other cultures. The Scythians also had a unique style of animal art, which featured stylized depictions of animals such as deer, horse,
Mom ha ha, mom ha ha ha, mama ha 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 ha, mom. Shouldn't it be mwah ha 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 ha, mwah ha ha ha? Isn't that what they did in the old games? Mwah ha ha, mwah ha ha, mwah ha ha. I might have played too many of them.
horses, and wolves. These animal motifs were often used in the decoration of their clothing, weapons, and other artifacts. The Scythians were also skilled in the production of textiles, particularly felt and wool. They produced elaborate felt carpets and tapestries, which were highly valued for their beauty and craftsmanship. Despite their nomadic lifestyle, the Scythians had a rich artistic tradition that reflected their unique culture and worldview. Their art and artifacts provide valuable insights into their beliefs, customs, and way of life. In the final segment, we will explore the legacy of the Scythians and their impact on the ancient world. The Scythians had a significant impact on the ancient world, particularly in their interactions with other cultures. They played an important role in the Silk Road trade network, facilitating the exchange of goods and ideas between China and the Mediterranean world. The Scythians also had a significant impact on the Greeks, who were fascinated by their culture and their prowess as warriors. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote extensively about the Scythians, and their influence can be seen in Greek art and literature. The Scythians also had a lasting impact on the art and culture of the Eurasian steppes. Their artistic traditions, particularly in the production of gold and other precious metals, influenced the art of other nomadic cultures in the region. Despite their impact on the ancient world, the Scythians were eventually absorbed into other cultures and disappeared as a distinct people. However, their legacy lies on in the art and artifacts they left behind, as well as in the cultural traditions of the peoples who succeeded them.
Bud. Welcome
In modern times, the Scythians continue to fascinate scholars and enthusiasts alike. Their unique culture and way of life provide valuable insights into the history of the Eurasian steppes and the ancient world as a whole. Thank you for joining us on this journey to discover the fascinating world of the ancient Scythians.
Your thanks
From
are
a wild
appreciated. Wait a
tornado-
second. We're not there yet. Hold your horses. I'm the leader. I'm the leader. I decide what it is. It's just a little old cricket boat. All right, so if I'm going to catch copyright, it'll be on this one. So we're gonna pause that one for a moment. I had another really good one. Oh, the villains. Are y'all familiar with the villains channel? Have y'all come across it? It's either Audit to Audit or Lackluster's second channel. I can't remember. You'll know the voice as soon as you hear it.
I'm gonna.
This is another one of those boss tier channels, and it's because I think it's because he really enjoys what he does. Homie's pulled down like 265,000 subscribers, and it's only been up for like, I don't know, a year. And he putting out them big numbers. So let's get ready to rumble.
I'm talking homicide. I'm talking homicide. A man was murdered. All right.
All right, sorry. When innocent people realize they're going to jail, monsters don't always know they're monsters. People that are evil don't necessarily believe they are evil. When you have somebody that in their mind feels they are justified to do the things they are doing, you have the ingredients to create a true monster. Like the gentleman who ran the showers at Auschwitz. If they didn't do what they did, they would have been put in those showers at Auschwitz. So, I mean, you don't got to agree with it, but you might have done the same thing at the time. These people are innocent, but the police believe they are guilty. They truly believe they are guilty. So if they're guilty, then like throw the book at them, right? You try to get them. Get them. Get them. Well, what if they're not? I mean,
I do not believe you. Okay. I do not believe you. And don't ask me to please believe you. I do not believe you. Okay?
In a justice system designed to seek the truth, what happens when human biases and flawed investigation processes take center stage? This video is about Michael Dixon and Susan Mellon, two people tragically accused of crimes they did not commit. Join us as we delve into the
mind stretcher over there is full of tickles.
Psychological warfare waged within the interrogation room and the courtroom, revealing a side of justice we rarely see. Michael Dixon.
You're charged with break and enter. That's what you're arrested for.
In the realm of criminal justice, the pursuit of truth often takes winding paths filled with ambiguity and uncertainty. As much as we'd like to believe that justice is served in a clear-cut manner, there's a hidden world of imperfect human.
Hey, Veterans Affairs, how you doing? Excuse me, I hit you with an email that's got my dates and times kind of. It's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I do Sasquatch Shields if I have a guest available. Otherwise, I do something like this. If you'd like, I'd drop the link in chat. We can talk about it because all of this is basically a filler to give people an opportunity to come in and have a chat with me, and they can decide whether they want to be on the show or not, or you can just stare me down real creepy like some people do. I don't know why they do that. It's like they see the camera and freeze like a deer in the headlights, and then they go away, never to be seen again. Or they figure out how to work their phone and come back. One or the other. Well, I'm sitting here with my email open, and I did. I mean, yeah, no. I got your response, and I responded to your response in the nature of email threads. I thought that was kind of how this worked.
Human judgment, mistakes, and bias.
But no, Smoking Auditor, please share his link. That man has a story to tell, and I would love to hear it.
That can cause irreversible harm. Michael Dixon's story is a chilling reminder of how easily those systems can fail an innocent man. A story of an arrest, not based on evidence, but a rush to judgment, leading to an unforgettable nightmare.
Okay, that's a very good point, Dennis. I come to YouTube with zero intention of being offended. If I feel like I could be offended, I go away from YouTube because this place is not safe for the soft of feelings. No, it's good, dude. People get the stuff when they get to it. I was just letting you know. And yeah, there he is. If you come into this field, this arena, and you have tender feelings and emotions, you are going to have those tender feelings and emotions offended. And if you take the offense and you respond to it in perfect example. What is it? Rob Tackle? Anyway, one of the guys I remixed a video on found his video in my remix, came to my channel, and apparently said some less than savory things. I haven't found any of them. They're still being held by YouTube, I guess. I don't know. But I have no hate for this gentleman. I mean, I'm sure he sounds like a really nice guy. I might have made different choices in my life, but I don't throw no shade on him for the choices he made. You know, that's his life. I didn't have those choices to make. I had totally different choices. Mine didn't involve a whole bunch of metal in my face that was intentionally put there. But hey, to each his own, bro. I hope he enjoys it. And I hope he has a magnificent evening. I really do.
August 15th, 2003 in Hamilton, Ontario was supposed to be an ordinary night for 37-year-old Michael Dixon. Known by his friends as popular, friendly, yet reserved, Michael was simply heading home
just for him. So maybe make him feel better a little bit. I hope you do feel better.
Ooh, woo.
Yeah. That's why I squatch with the dread. Ooh, woo.
From work, but within moments, this self-professed introvert's life would turn upside down. A call had come into 911. Someone was breaking into a jewelry store near the bus station. The description was specific: a small white man with a buzz cut and white shoes. Responding officers lost sight of the suspect and emerged into a parking lot, only to see Michael Dixon, a black man with a shaved head wearing black boots. He was walking past that very parking lot, merely trying to get home. The scene was chaotic. The officer's adrenaline was pumping, and a mistake was about to be made. In an instant, they arrested Dixon at gunpoint.
Do you wish to say anything in answer to the charge? You are not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so, but whatever you do say may be given in evidence.
Well, that's fine, because what I have to say is to plead my innocence, so I don't mind that.
Okay.
But I'm just curious to know, like, how it got this far, because, as I said to you earlier in the other room, the police officers that were stopped me on the street said that they had witnesses.
The police station's sterile interrogation room would become a stage for an uncanny drama. On one side of the table sat Dixon, a man eager to prove his innocence in a case of mistaken identity. On the other side...
What was I trying to get you to say?
Ooh, woo.
Yes, yes. Excellent.
Were seasoned detectives, laser-focused on extracting a confession. The case was an entangled mess of circumstantial evidence, witness testimony, and hurried assumptions. A brutal robbery had taken place, leaving a victim traumatized and the local community in fear. Dixon had been identified nearby, but his alibi seemed sound. He claimed that he'd just gotten off a bus, and even witnessed the bus pass by during his arrest. Plus, the obvious discrepancy between Dixon's appearance and the specific description of the suspect seemed to have been deliberately overlooked or disregarded. However, the detectives, led by Detective Leak, had already shifted their attention from verifying alibis to securing a confession. This relentless pursuit of a confession, despite the evident inconsistencies, added a troubling layer of complexity to the case, hinting at a system more concerned with quick convictions than uncovering the truth.
Your innocence and guilt in this.
So, sir, with all due respect, I think you just described every single police department in America, every justice institution we have. There's no justice. There's just us.
Quite frankly, isn't an issue. The evidence I have is frankly conclusive and overwhelming. Okay? So I'm not even going to ask you if you did it. What I have to ascertain here is what kind of guy you are. Whether this is you're like a serial burglar and this is what you're doing all the time, or whether this is a one-off thing because of the power cut and everything that's going on tonight. That's all we're here for.
Okay, I understand your position. Like I say here, I didn't do it, and you've heard that a million times, I'm sure, in your career. But it's just...
All right. So, innocent until proven guilty is supposed to protect you from exactly this type of overreach. Due process is supposed to protect you from just this type of overreach. Instead, the legal professionals and the judges utilize due process as a weapon to restrain the populace rather than to enfranchise them.
Ask me questions. That's all I can do is answer them, I guess.
I've got other questions to ask you. I mean, why did you do it? That's basically, that's my only question.
I'm coming from that position, and since I'm saying I didn't do it, I really don't have an answer for you except to say I didn't do it.
I'd like to see my lawyer.
Really a great amount of
Yeah,
about. Yeah. It's like I said, whether you did it or not isn't up for the discussion.
Okay, well,
it's really not.
Your innocence and guilt in this is, quite frankly,
honey, if you would like to set my recording straight, I freely offer to add your uwu to my collection.
Isn't an issue, Detective Leak told him. This statement would set the tone for the entire interrogation. The line wasn't merely an offhand comment, it was a calculated move designed to unnerve the suspect and establish control over the conversation.
And how do you know I don't like Mommy Dom anyway? I mean...
There's a number of witnesses.
Ooh, great.
One of whom had a video camera.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Well, that's relieving. That's relieving, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So view the video camera.
I have.
Okay.
That's why you have guilt.
That doesn't even make sense to me. Because if I'm on the video camera, that doesn't make sense. You have a video camera that shows me?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Impossible.
We'll have to, I guess, I have no choice but to get a lawyer then. If this is the kind of thing you're going to go through with me.
This isn't going to go away. You're charged with breaking in. You will be charged tonight.
Okay.
You will be going to court in the morning, charged with breaking in with intent.
What's truly remarkable about Michael's story is the psychological warfare that played out in that small room. The detective's arrogance, the bluffing about not...
The fines, court costs, all those salaries, housing, food, care, clothes, it's an industry and there is no rehabilitation. You are absolutely correct. And furthermore, the powers that be have decided to utilize the concept of lawfare to impoverish their enemies. And as far as I've been able to determine, their enemies are broke people, or people who are almost not broke, right? Who are just about to break through and make that. They want those people to be absolutely enslaved to a probationary parole type system. They want you paying in weekly, if they can get it, monthly, if that's all they can get. They want every dime they can take out of you. In a lot of communities, when you get a speeding ticket, you get 2 tickets for the one infraction, one from the county, one from the city, and they both charge you for speeding regardless. And so if you go to court, you have to go to court twice.
Non-existent video evidence, and Michael's resilience and intuitive pushback. He saw through the strategy, yet remained eager to give as much information as he could, believing in the inherent fairness of the system.
That's what's going to happen right now.
Can I ask you something? Okay, are you just making...
Well, here's the thing about that there, Orby. It takes a real dumb mommy to dom me. Like, it ain't just your average little anime chick over here flicking glitter at me and shit. It's not going to be. My safe word is harder.
Making this up that you have a video camera so you see how I react, because it goes that if you're saying, okay, if I am guilty, as you believe, because you have me on video camera, then okay, we'll go through the procedure. But I'm saying, I trying to call your bluff here, because since I know I didn't do it, there's no way I can be on the video camera.
Dixon's physical posture during the interrogation was as much of a part of his defense as his verbal responses. He sat upright, eyes level with the detectives, shoulders squared, and elbows firmly resting on his knees. This confident stance seemed to defy the oppressive environment and the intense pressure he was under. It was a physical manifestation of his unshaken belief in his innocence, a silent challenge to those who sought to break him down.
The circumstances are that 3 people who live across the street saw you hiding in the doorway there, pulling the glass out, breaking the glass. When the police officers, 2 uniform officers who arrested you, pulled up.
How did he get arrested by an Aussie in Hamilton? How does that happen? How am I would be very concerned if I was in South Georgia and I had an Aussie come in and start questioning me. Are you Interpol? What is going on here? I want a lawyer immediately. I don't answer questions. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. And until I discuss it with a lawyer, I'm no longer having anything to do with this conversation. Can I please go back to my cell? I really like it there. It's quiet. No one bothers me.
Across the street
What's
from
up,
you,
ATO? Good to see you,
saw
bud.
You
I know this is
down the
worse.
alleyway.
These people had direct evidence that he was not in the location where whatever it was took place. They just ignored it. It sat right there in the evidence file for the whole time this whole process took place. And it took somebody going back and looking at it and going, oh, by the way, he was over here on a bus or something like that.
And then they described the police officer who arrested you chasing you on foot. And that police officer then arrested you around the corner. So
this police officer recognizes me in green shorts and white t-shirt with a knapsack.
The witness, all of the witnesses saw you running from the store, being chased by the police officer who arrested you.
When did this take place? Like how long before
when
I was arrested? Like
he ran immediately before. Seconds.
Well, this isn't me. That's what I'm telling you.
The detectives were not oblivious to this stance. They may have seen it as a challenge or even a threat. As the interrogation wore on, their tactics shifted from casual.
You are wrong. They would like a conviction. A conviction would be nice. A conviction would justify their existence. But really, all they want is a plea bargain. They carry you in, and this is experience I have personally. They carry you in for 19 felonies that never freaking occurred, but they charge you with 19 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. They offer you the 1 misdemeanor or go into trial for the 19 felonies. You're going to take the 1 misdemeanor almost every time. And that's the way they function. That's part of the lawfare recipe. It impoverishes the people against the state.
Questioning to psychological manipulation. They employed classic techniques such as playing good cop, bad cop, creating false evidence, and employing leading questions, all in an effort to destabilize Dixon's composure.
I was at work. I caught the 12:30 bus to Hamilton.
My man's an absolute Chad.
I pulled in a station. I walked from the bus along, like on the inside of the station there where the docks are, down the stairs, up John Street, crossed John Street. There was an EMS vehicle there, if that helps to be a witness. But anyways, got across John Street, walked maybe 3 paces, 5 paces, whatever, and then crossed Hunter to the north side of Hunter. And then,
did you run at any point?
No, I mean, there weren't any cars, so there's no reason for me to go quickly across the street. I mean,
what happened when you were arrested by the officer?
oh, well, I could see figures, but it's dark, right? And I could sense like that person's coming towards me. I was like, oh, what's going on here? And then the flashlight came up, and I thought this, and then there's more than one voice, and I thought something's up here. And then they didn't identify themselves as police officers, but
Well, they were in uniform.
in the dark, yes. And so then behind flashlights.
In the dark, yes.
So my point is, I cannot tell who's behind a flashlight. And
Yeah, that's another thing. And cops will always shine the light directly in your eyes and then pretend like you're supposed to know that they're cops. That is a level of density that is hard to overcome.
And then I could see a weapon, and I was kind of like, they're saying get down ground. I'm kind of like, okay, like cooperate. And then I'm thinking, I don't know the police officers, and I said as such, like, who are you? Are you police? And he's like, what do you think? As a response, and I got on the ground. The next thing I was like,
Where exactly were you when you were arrested? Can we do it on the board here? How's that?
what did you do?
You set up exhibits. You're probably more artistic than me. When you maybe draw the layout.
No, sir, Mr. Aussie, I think you're about the most autistic person in this room. You have focused laser tight down onto a particular detail that you simply want to prove that is right. And you got nothing. There's nothing actually there. You're just, I don't know, entertaining yourself at this man's expense.
The intersection.
streets,
Was it a gut
and
feeling?
maybe a dotted
Did you
line
think
that's your
he was
path. How's that?
Sure.
And another dotted line where the police officers come from.
Okay, this is the tunnel, the bridge,
Okay.
and come at the bus station,
So which
The
way
steps.
is north towards the lake?
the north.
Okay.
And so I came here, the EMS truck or whatever ambulance it was there, went off, crossed here, and crossed here. That's it.
Okay. Did you come straight from the bus?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I even looked, I was like, maybe I should take a cab. I'm like, oh no.
So you came straight off of the bus?
And that's it. Like the bus is,
I bet he wishes he took that cab now.
that's it. It's like I was
The
off the
night
bus
Uber
like,
saved
maybe,
his
like
life.
2 minutes.
So how long before you were arrested were you off of the bus?
That's what I'm saying. Like from there to there, it's like not even 2 minutes.
Did you stop or do anything in the
I
interim?
was walking, I was trying to see in the dark and questioning, like, am I going to get mugged? And that's about it.
So where were you?
He did. He got
when you
mugged by the
first became aware
NYPD
of the
or
people
Hamilton
who
Police.
subsequently were police officers?
Okay, well, there's a building here in the corner. That's like I got an entrance to whatever, parking or something. And there's another building here. There might have been something. Actually, I was walking. I saw a flashlight or something there, and I can hear hollering.
Dude,
and then
that is
someone
a
else
really
is here,
mad beat.
and that
can really
person, or
bug
maybe
out
I don't know,
to
maybe
it.
that person ran. I'm not sure, but anyways, I was approached
Thing
here.
is funky.
Okay, great. Thanks very much. Take a seat.
Beneath the surface, the psychological toll began to manifest. The relentless pressure, the distortion of truth, and the manipulation of facts started to erode his confidence.
I've got nothing to
I'm not
gain
trying to
from
give you a hard
that.
time, all right?
You know what? I've got nothing to gain from that either way, which is why I'm not asking you, did you do it? I'm not trying to catch you out, what we've discussed tonight.
Yeah.
Okay?
Problem is the speed at which this is going.
Yeah.
Like when I was on the ground, I was saying, go quickly to the terminal. I have like 6 or so guys around me, like talk to the bus driver,
Right. I can't comment on things.
He only wants him to do any other aspect of this man's job. Anything other than trying to make me the criminal. You look anywhere else, you'll have a better chance of solving this case. I promise.
Things that
Okay,
haven't
I
been seen,
know,
unfortunately. But now I'm
left
kind of-
hanging, right?
Now I'm looking at this. I mean, this is basically on the evidence I've got. This is the only course of events that can take place right now. But I will certainly make sure that this is looked into thoroughly.
Okay,
I
great.
can give you my word on that. That's my duty. That's what I have to do.
Okay, I trust you will. But
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's a shame that I don't even know where I'm staying tonight, like what horrors are ahead of me. But I mean, this is unfortunate.
Wait a second, I just have to.
Yeah, I got to go see if that warrant's come through yet.
Michael's composure
We're
was
fixing to lock your ass up.
extraordinary. Yet, as the reality began to sink in, fear.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Emerged in his eyes. He wasn't going home after the interview, and the truth seemed to be slipping further and further away. It just stings being doubted until proven innocent, Dixon told the detective. Well, this statement encapsulates the painful irony of his situation. A system that professes to presume innocence, yet operates in a manner that often presumes guilt. Dixon was kept in jail for 3.5 harrowing days. His ordeal would only end when a separate investigator looked into his alibi witnesses and surveillance. Finally, exoneration came, but the scars remained. A civil trial followed, leading to Michael being awarded $46,000 in punitive damages. The officers involved faced demotion and suspension. But can monetary compensation really heal the wounds of such a traumatic experience? His story is a lesson in humility, patience, and the terrifying reality that even with the truth on your side, everything can change in an instant. Susie Mellon.
It is undisputed that Susan Mellon is actually innocent, that she spent 17 years separated from her children, wrongly imprisoned for a murder she did not commit.
On July 21st, 1997, Susan Mellon's life was thrown into chaos when she was accused of a heinous crime she didn't commit. A crime that would see her isolated from her loved ones and thrust into a world of despair and hopelessness for nearly 2 decades. The dissection of Susan Mellon's case is a profound journey into the dark side of the criminal justice system, exploring the psychological warfare waged upon an innocent woman and the behavioral aspects that define her wrongful conviction.
I would never, from my heart and my soul, I would never do that to anybody. I didn't hate Rick. I would never let anybody people that I hated. I had told him that he was a good man. He was good to me. He was good to my kids. He loved my kids. And I looked at you and it's like, it was the 6 things they did what they did.
I'm going to book you. No, I'm not going to believe. I'm talking homicide. A man was murdered, all right?
I didn't murder him.
Okay, that's it.
Please believe me. I wasn't too bad.
I think you sit and you think about. I do not believe you.
Okay.
I do not believe you, and don't ask me to please believe you. I do not believe you. Okay.
Susan's demeanor during the interrogation was a stark contrast to the confident defiance shown by Michael Dixon in our previous section. Here was a woman not so much defiant, but pleading, her voice resonating with the raw emotion of innocence betrayed.
You know that because you were there.
I heard it.
I tell you what, you know what? You told me you were going to tell me the truth. You're not telling me the truth. You are under arrest now for murder. I'm getting ready to book you. Now, obviously, you don't care about your family. You don't care about your daughters or care about because like I told you on the way over here in this car for you to tell me the truth, no matter if it implicated you, you need to tell the truth because nobody's not going to believe a lie because you're making these statements now, okay? And then when it comes times then later on down the road, you're going to say, "Oh, I want to tell the truth." It's going to be too late then. You need.
And that's true when dealing with any sort of bureaucracy whatsoever. The VA is a nightmare because nobody seems to know what's actually taking place unless they're physically holding a copy of whatever work order they need. It's like some weird socialist hellscape.
Need to tell the truth now.
Okay, ask me anything.
I'm just asking. Were you there?
I am.
There's an alarming undercurrent of psychological manipulation in this case. Detective Wynn, upon encountering Mellon's desperate insistence on her innocence, did not exhibit empathy, nor did she demonstrate a desire to search for the truth. Instead, she wielded emotional pressure as a weapon, a tactic designed to break Mellon's spirit, to force her into submission. Wynn told Mellon she didn't care about her family or her daughters because she believed Mellon wasn't telling her the truth. The verbal assault was a chilling attempt to isolate Mellon emotionally, a coercive technique aimed at eliciting a false confession. Wynn also refused to administer a polygraph test, despite Susan's requests, further aggravating her anguish and feelings of injustice.
Hold on a second.
Okay, let me just get some basic information from you and then...
Susan's individuality, her unique story, was overshadowed by a larger narrative, one that painted her as a pawn in a game she did not understand. When left alone, Susan's anguish was palpable. Holding her head in her hands, tears streaming down her face, she prayed desperately for a solution.
Because here's Rick. Here's his body. I'm not showing you anything. There's his.
The term legal fiction can completely ruin your entire existence.
Body. Well, you already saw it, so I don't have to show it to you again.
After 17 agonizing years of wrongful imprisonment, Susan Mellon's nightmare finally came to an end. New evidence, including the confession of Santo Alvarez that Mellon was not involved in the murder, led to a reinvestigation of her case. This, coupled with the revelation of June Patty's unreliability and Detective Wynn's withheld information, prompted the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office to abandon the prosecution. On October 10th, 2014, Mellon's conviction was vacated, the charge dismissed, and she was released. Determined to seek justice for the
They gave her the great my bad, sent her on her way.
Justices she endured, Mellon filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles and the detectives responsible for her conviction. In March of 2019, she reached a settlement of $12 million, a significant legal victory that, while not able to fully compensate for the lost years and emotional trauma, represented an acknowledgement of the profound failure of the system that had stolen so much from her.
All that. I like them stories. Every shocking moment got recorded. Police figure out open carry law, but don't know how to handle firearms. I like this one. This is a good one. All right. So here in Georgia, not too terrible long ago, they passed a constitutional carry. You no longer need a concealed weapons permit to carry concealed. The only reason you would get a concealed weapons permit would be to go somewhere else with reciprocity and use your Georgia concealed weapon permit in another state. That's the only reason you get one. And so there's been a little bit of confusion in some places about what this means. And a lot of people think it means, well, it lets criminals carry guns. I'm like, no, criminals are carrying guns anyway. They're already criminals. They already break the law. A law doesn't stop them from carrying guns. A law that allows an individual to defend a group is awesome, in my opinion. I mean, Second Amendment is a real bit of perfection. Could it have been made more clear? I'm not sure it could have been. It is purposely ambiguous. It is not possible really to interpret it in a way that lets you touch it. Shall not be infringed is fairly succinct, and well-regulated militias are simply required.
Hey, do me a favor. Please.
This is John Eagle. This is a friend of the channel, actually. I think he started about, a week or two after I did, or maybe a week or two before I did. He seems to be real good people. He has excellent choices and videos to go over.
Do the scene for me. Back up. Keep backing up. There's a reason why we're here. 1 Edward Charlie 5899 Black Ford Taurus.
I mean, no, that's fine.
You can just ride around and carry all these.
Yeah.
On March 1st of 2022, I Am Dr. Wolf was at a Lowe's doing some shopping. While there, he was open carrying a Bear Creek Arsenal AR pistol, signified by its forearm brace, which differentiates it from a long gun that has a barrel of 16 inches or longer. If a rifle's barrel is shorter than 16 inches, it is considered a short-barreled rifle or an SBR, and also concealed carrying his Taurus pistol. Also in Maryland, it is legal to open carry without a permit, but to conceal carry, you must have your handgun permit with you. With that being said, someone called the police on him for not breaking any laws. As a female officer approaches his car, you will see a male officer has already opened his car door and taken his Taurus pistol, violating his Fourth Amendment right to a legal search and seizure.
Not a single thing. I'm pretty sure they were retired before she got out of jail. And if not, they had probably moved to a different department. But no, there were no charges. Qualified immunity would protect them in 90% of cases anyway. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that's facts, Jack. That's just the way it is. We can try to change it, but not today.
With no probable cause of a crime even being committed.
Sir, do me a favor, guys. Clear the scene. Hey, do me a favor. Clear the scene for me. Back up. Keep backing up. There's a reason why we're here. W151 headquarters, copy. Maryland tag.
Okay.
1 Edward Charlie 5899 Black 4.
Is this one of them where they ask for ID a whole bunch of times? If he's got a pistol in his pocket, he has to present that concealed carry permit.
When handed the tourist handgun, it is loaded, has a round in the chamber, as well as an extra magazine to go with it. Officer Stallman takes the handgun and doesn't even clear it. On top of that, when she is manipulating the loaded handgun, she starts pointing the damn thing at everybody, as well as the driver.
All right. It is clear that she doesn't recognize the mechanisms by which this handgun operates. I don't think she should try to figure it out knowing that it's very low. First of all, if you hand off a gun to somebody and it's in a common circumstance, you're supposed to clear it and show them that it's clear before you hand it to it. And personally, because I don't like getting fucking shot, I do it 3 times. I show him, then you, then him again, and while it open, I hand it to him and let the chamber drop, knowing there's nothing in it. Because I'm not handing a loaded gun to anyone. Ever. I mean, maybe under fire, but if I've got a loaded gun, I'm firing back. That Ron White bit, if anybody ever tries to kill you, you kill them back.
It's going to be a Taurus handgun. Let me know when you're ready for the serial number.
Okay.
Adam Baker David 503021.
When you're ready for a second.
Yes, ma'am. GiggaChad was a Medal of Honor recipient, Mr. Vlug, PFC Vlug. I'm not making that up. I promise you that's his name. My man killed 5 tanks single-handed with a pistol and a rocket launcher.
Maybe a Bear Creek Arsenal, Bravo Charlie Alpha 15, serial number of Bravo 01842.
Yep. Virus 24.
62.
Ooh, she got her hit. Looky there. Looky
Yeah.
there. She finally found what they've all been searching for. She got the ID. Oh my God. I bet she's just all flushed and it's like dope.
Is he getting
Okay. W151 headquarters. I know we've been giving you a lot.
Hey.
I've got a name and date of birth.
Oh God, that rush of the name and date of birth. We even have a driver's license number. I bet that's the ultimate high.
Who do you have as a registrator?
What's that? Okay.
That's right.
I got it.
Headquarters 2151, the first 1032 handgun is
What's up, Cat? Good to see you.
10-4. Just hang with him. I don't know. I thought you.
I didn't take this one.
Oh.
He first takes out the magazine, but remember, there is still a live round in the chamber. While working on clearing the handgun, he negligently points it to his left while totally disregarding his backstop.
Oh. No, it's. Oh. No, sorry.
It's still hot.
Got it.
There's on the triggers on this thing. We just need to call the gunslinger.
Okay.
To,
What did he have on him in the store?
So he had the. I didn't take this one.
Oh.
He first takes out the magazine, but remember, there is still a live round in the chamber. While working on clearing the handgun, he negligently points it to his left while totally disregarding his backstop.
Oh. No, it's... Oh. No, sorry.
That's all right.
Got it.
Wait, why you reckon he racked that thing like that? When he popped it out and he saw the bullet come out, why would you rack it another 3 or 4 times? Are you just trying to damage it? I mean, I can understand checking to make sure it's empty, but he saw the bullet come out. You can check it twice or 3 times, but you don't have to chink, 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 chink. I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's on the triggers on this thing. We just need to call the gunslinger.
Okay.
To,
What did he have on him in the store?
So he had this strapped around him. Right around his midsection.
All the muzzle discipline of a freaking stormtrooper.
Okay.
And he had this in his waistband.
The officers further show their lack of knowledge about open and concealed carry of firearms for a man with a permit that allowed him to do both because it's unrestricted. I also want to point out that they don't even know the difference between a short-barreled rifle and an AR pistol.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not 100% certain to the difference between an AR pistol and a short-barreled rifle. I know that it's like a couple of inches, and it doesn't have to be a pistol round, or is a full-size Draco considered a pistol? Just because it's lethal. Because that's still a 7.62 round. I mean, that's a full-size rifle round, bro. You might as well be putting like a 30-06 round into them or something like that. 308, something like that. Anyway. I'm not sure.
it's actually going to be an SPG. It's going to be considered a handgun.
A handgun?
Yeah,
So it's legal?
I mean, yeah, because but we need to call them.
Even with this?
On here.
What's that?
I mean...
But I want it to be illegal so that I could get the rap on this. This is my first caller. Come on, let me just run him in. We'll say he shoplifted.
It's still probably a 223.
Yeah, it says 223.
Considered short barrel.
That would be incorrect, sir. It is an AR pistol. And fun fact, this guy here...
That's also a full-size rifle round. So, yeah, no, apparently a 7.62 in a pistol format is technically a pistol. Yeah, it only hurts if you hit you. Right, that's true. And the Draco is horrendously inaccurate. It is difficult to hit anything with a Draco. Luckily, it uses really big bullets and has a whole bunch of them. So you don't have to be horribly accurate.
To the left is a lieutenant, and he doesn't even know the difference between a short-barreled rifle and an AR pistol.
Who wants to handle primary?
I am.
Okay,
Fine.
just call the gun center, give him what you got, because he's carrying an unrestricted permit, so it's not like he's violating carrier's permit. But tell him to be involved.
Okay.
We have no violations.
Also, sir, just to let you know, there is a body camera on scene recording video and audio. Okay, yep.
They have already verified that he has an unrestricted permit.
Right.
We call the Maryland Gun Center to make sure they are correct. At the same time, they call in incorrect information about his firearms.
Right.
Hey, I need to run a subject that we're out with who's carrying guns inside of a store. He gave us a handgun permit, but it's a handgun. It's a handgun permit, an unrestricted handgun permit. He had a, what is this?
Bear Creek.
A Bear Creek.
It's a short barrel.
Short barrel.
But it has the full grip. It's not the fixed one.
It has a.
Or the
I'm sorry. Hang on.
No, it's not. It's not basically a short-barreled rifle. It is a braced pistol. The level of brain farts that just took place in that man's head, I'm pretty sure he just burst a blood vessel. I bet one of his eyes is bright red.
It's a short barrel rifle.
No, it's not.
After verifying all of his weapons and his permits were valid, they allowed to let him leave and go about his day.
Properly registered. No problem with.
Hey, hold on. So let me get this straight. They were incorrect in the identification of his weapons. But the incorrect identification was illegal for him to possess. And they let him go. So, either way, I feel like somebody should get charged for bothering this poor man. I mean,
yeah.
And he can open carry that, right?
I don't know.
Gun center would be the one to ask while we have him on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And is he allowed to open carry that?
it's a pistol. Yes.
Okay, he's looking at the permit to let us know.
Stop bothering that poor man.
Did you get all his information, Dr. B?
I have his ID.
Did you just get like his phone number, good address, social, where he's working? Okay.
It's the same one I took off the other bell.
Oh, with him?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, it didn't stay.
She is currently, hold on, wait. She is currently holding his ID. She has absolutely all of his details right there in front of her. And homie looks at the dude and tells him to go get current information on him. Now, I understand people move around, but that seems like a little extra on a whole bunch of extra that's already been done. I don't know. I don't know, man. These people sketch me out. They really sketch me out, man.
Cooperate. Do you need his new address at all?
Yeah, new address, whatever.
Yep, whatever's up to date.
No, just write it all down.
Is it just me, or does this chick sound blind?
So
she
this
is
was on his
absolutely
phone?
certain he is guilty of something.
His dip.
Not in the holster, right?
It was in a holster.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a witness death, so nothing suspicious.
Oh,
all
he
right.
is dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, no, that's fine.
You can just ride around and carry all these.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I don't kiss and tell.
I want to hear.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So there is no crime here. No crime was committed.
Yep, and we contacted Maryland Gun Center and all. You're good to go. We're gonna give you your stuff back and send you on your way.
Well, my wife is actually on her way here. But the door that I just bought from Lowe's won't fit in the car.
I gotcha.
So she's coming and she has issue. So I have to go back and get the door and strap it on and all.
Okay. Obviously, that kind of stuff draws attention because not very many people exercise that right. So obviously,
that's part of the reason I do it. As the old saying goes, rights not exercised, rights taken away. So I like to exercise my rights, and then at every opportunity I get, I like to inform people that may not know. That's part of the reason I wanted to talk to you, because I didn't know if you knew. So I just wanted to inform you that even if I was carrying a full-size rifle, you don't even need a permit to carry a full-size rifle. As in Maryland, a permit is only needed to carry a handgun. And a handgun is classified as a firearm. Any firearm with a barrel less than 16 inches. So
we appreciate your cooperation. We just have to do our due diligence here too, and we'll send you on your way. That's fine. All right, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Cool. Got it. Can I get out for the...
Yep, that's it.
Everything's front back. Your eyes. We'll get the re-equipped.
All right.
Shout out to I Am Dr. Wolf for exercising his Second Amendment rights
You did
and
an
being very
excellent job,
professional
brother.
when confronted by cops who don't even know the open and concealed carry laws. And kudos to him for giving them an education.
Right.
When more people exercise their rights, the more normal it will become in this country. If the
Full-on bonus points from Sasquatch here. I approve. That is excellent.
government pushes to take our Second Amendment rights away, how comfortable would you be with these types of officers to be the only ones allowed to carry them?
I am Dr. Wolf. Or maybe you should have a German accent. I am Dr. Wolf. Thank you. Come again. Oh, wow. That brings it back, son. Yeah, I went and dug up a 3-hour Bigfoot mega marathon, ultra marathon, from Buckeye Bigfoot. He uploaded that a couple of days ago. I'm going to give it about a week to get as many views as it can get to give him some dollar bill rolls. Elbow cough, be like, whoops. Like that. Yeah, we'd be dabbing. Just remember, if you ever fall off a cliff, dab into the ground. I mean, you're going down. Why not?
From a wild tornado in Arkansas.
All right, we're going to mute this one. And we're going to commentate over the top of this bad boy. Listen, if you've never experienced like a near miss of a tornado, some of these things are uncanny. Like, I have been in a tiny little ham shell camper under a tree and had the tree snapped off, carried away. There was no sign of this massive oak tree that had been there previously and was now gone. And the camper wasn't even touched. I mean, it rocked the camper a little bit. That was it. And I don't mean there was limbs and leaves and shit here, there, and everywhere. There was 5 acres of open freaking pasture land around us. There wasn't a sign of that tree nowhere. It picked up 40 tons of tree and tossed it completely out of sight. Far as I know, it's still flying to this day. I don't know. Lead with your head. You can do that. But you should have a hard head first. Yeah, brother. You hold it down. Don't let the man get you down. I hear you. I ain't too far from it myself. I ain't got but like 1 or 2 other things. Water spouts are fun. They're especially like really fun on lakes because you can get much, much more powerful water spouts on a lake than you can on the shore. Has something to do with the temperature of the water itself and the density of the salt, shit like that. I don't know. I know that the time I saw a water spout, This is the rain, salt water. But it was like coming towards us and like just went away. Rain, salt water. Absolutely wild. What is a TV whistle? Hey man, there's some beautiful country out there though. I mean, especially if you want to do farmsteading, homesteading, off-grid, anything, camping, hunting, fishing, boating, canoeing, you name it, dude. There's all sorts to do out there between the mountains, as it were. And I think the desert southwest could be just as cool in its own way if we could just figure out how to get some beavers out there. That's what they do. Really, America is in North America has a very almost unique circumstance of supercells meeting cold air. Something about the Great Plains just lines that crap completely stripped. There wasn't leaf one out there at all. It looked like somebody had come along and gently plucked all the leaves off of all the ends of the trees. It was really weird. What's up, Tiffany's Epiphany? Welcome in, girl. Good to see you. I appreciate your you coming by. No, that's gorgeous. You got to admit, they are beautiful. I mean, wow. And then again, they are the finger of God. I mean, like, yeah, no. I think Oklahoma, is it Oklahoma or Indiana that has the most tornadoes typically? I think it's Oklahoma, where the wind goes sweeping down the plains, wind goes sweeping down the plains. Did I just remix that? I didn't mean to. My bad. I do apologize. Not. You know, that's about the point in time your heart starts doing a pitter patter in your chest. You're like, which way is it going? Is it moving? It doesn't look like it's moving. That means it's coming straight at us or going straight away. I'm pretty sure it's coming at us. I'm not that fucking lucky. Oh, that is just wicked. Homie's like, yeah, oh, by the way, you should probably call the ER. There's going to be some deaths over in Calverton over yonder. There's a big old twister just sitting right on down on the Culverton farm over yonder. You might want to go save his cows. Right, that's what I thought. I mean, there's a reason why Oklahoma is where the winds come sweeping. I can't say it. Why can't I say it? Rubber baby buggy bumpers. She sells seashells down by the seashore. Where the wind goes sweeping down the plains. There we go. Much better. Almost as if I meant to do that. That's so creepy, though. It's just like... what it is. Who that is? My baby daddy. Oh, no, that ain't Toe. What's up, bud? You gonna stay on camera? I see you. She called them. They weren't at the desk. So she took the kids to go get ice cream at the local ice cream parlor, right? While they were gone, tornado came along and tore that trailer park, slammed to hell. And it wasn't until they showed back up from this ice cream parlor that folks stopped looking for their bodies, because there were 6 kids in that house when it exploded. And then she showed up with all of them. And I've always wondered exactly how much of a witchy woman my sister might be.
I think she just had a craving for ice cream.
Wow. Baskin Robbins strikes again. I didn't know silence was one of those 36 flavors. Censorship. Bah. See, we get tornadoes occasionally, but usually what we get are microbursts. We get these little horizontal tornadoes that like part of it'll like hit the ground and it straight line winds essentially. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I see you. And you'll just come along a section of like, when it happens in the swamp, it's really weird because all of the pieces that break off end up on the same side of the swamp. So it's like a giant's hand dipped down just to the water level and just snapped all the trees off and then picked all those trees up and stacked them up on the west side of the swamp or whatever direction. There's a specific direction they go in, but it escapes me.
I'm going to guess northeast.
It has to do, it's not like it is a little bit further south. A little bit further south, you'd be right. But here, because we're in the foothills, and there's some really big ones a little bit west of us. And so we either catch air coming straight down out of the mountains, which results in things like hail, snow, and these really wild Arctic freaking blasts that take place every now and then, like happened this last winter when my aquaponics froze solid. Never seen that shit before. Never seen fish freeze solid and then swim away from it. That was wacky.
You gotta love the Arctic vortexes.
Right. Well, no, these are referred to as polar troughs. It has to do with the fact that the mountains push air so high that it cools it off. And if the air can't get up high enough, if it's too moist, it forces it down around the edge of the mountains because there is a way around the edge of the mountains. And we're right there on that spot. And so it creates like this delayed bubble of really, really, really freaking intense supercell activity because the moisture tries to go over the top and fails and squirts around the side from super cold to super hot moist air. And you get this bubble of cold air in the middle. And then all hell breaks loose. Like you got snow, sideways rain, monsoonal bullshit, some of that biblical bullshit that'll float a lighter knot.
I can't remember the name of the weatherman, but he calls it micro weather patterns. When certain weathers happen within like a 50-mile radius of something.
And it's a repetitive occurrence. Yeah.
Yep.
Like for instance, out there at Pops, we're in a valley between two, not just foothills, but chains of foothills that stick out of the mountains. When severe winds come through there, the open end of that valley faces away from the dominant wind flow. So it skips right over the top 99% of the time. The one time it didn't, it picked a random dozen trees out of the swamp in the backyard and threw them into the swamp across the road in the front yard. That was a Hurricane Ivan, as a matter of fact.
I was actually on Channel 6 News for like a week straight putting branches in a chipper because we were the only tree company they can find working the day after that storm.
Right. Ivan was interesting. It wasn't okay. So obviously there were some hugely powerful winds in that tornado. I mean, in that hurricane, because like I said, it snatched up ginormous trees and just tossed them around like matchsticks. But at the same time, that particular storm, predominant in my mind, was infamous for the amount of rain it dropped. Because that cracker dropped right over the top of middle Georgia and stalled out. It just sat here for like 2 weeks until it was a tropical depression, and then it limped off the East Coast. What's up, Auntie Jack? Welcome in. Good to see you, bud. Taz?
I have something kind of funny. I'm the only one who has a boss that goes to church and he prays for heavy winds and heavy snow.
That's because he's a lineman, right?
What?
Lineman?
We do landscaping and tree work.
Heavy
So
wind,
close
heavy,
to lineman.
right? Pretty close. Yeah, yeah. You call a lot of linemen, don't you?
No, I've never hit a power line yet.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. When the trees come down on the lines, the linemen call y'all. Which way does that go?
Neither. We mostly do residential stuff. You're thinking of the power hackers, also known as Esplenda. But we call them power hackers.
Looney Tunes used to be depicted as a tiny dust devil tornado just tooling around, tearing shit up. Wake up. Right?
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, you know, other than having warning is really the only hope you have when it comes down to dealing with tornadoes. There is no other. I mean, if you don't know it's coming, you can't do anything. You turn and look over, and there's the tornado. It's too late to do anything about it. You can run. Good luck. And the bitch around here is if you run and jump into a culvert like you would expect to be safe in a culvert, it's going to fucking drown you. We're in a swamp. When it rains, it's always a flood.
If you ever see a tornado in real life and it looks like it's not moving, that means it's coming straight towards you.
Or straight away. But let's be honest, I'm not that lucky.
Yep.
Oh, Taz. Oh. Hey, dude. Totally gonna score. I don't know. I'll be honest. We had this storm blow through here earlier, and it almost rained. Like, I think I saw 2 raindrops in the whole trip, but it didn't actually rain. And now my ears have that weird ringing sensation, and I've got the frontal lobe migraine going on. Like, my eyeballs are throbbing. Don't like it.
I know we're supposed to get rain for the next 2 days up here in Ohio.
Who is Margie? And why is she messaging me? Who is this chick?
Not a clue.
Rivers. Okay. We're not friends on Facebook, but she's so messaging me. That's creepy. I mean,
you can still message people even if you're not friends with them.
Yeah, but that means she had to go like pick me out of somebody else's friend list. That's creepy.
Or just type their name in, one of the two.
Who types in Caucasian Sasquatch just fucking randomly? I'm sorry, dude, I don't see it.
Maybe she has a different name on YouTube than she does on Facebook.
Sure.
I know I have a different name.
She didn't come at me with some like YouTubery stuff. She sent me some stuff about like there's this one thing about this one little real video about a dude getting bucked off a horse. There's another one about a kid who got murdered. And then there's another little message talking about tragedy and knowing that you died once and was reincarnated back into a broke-ass family. I'm very freaking confused by all of this, and I don't understand. Yeah, right. CwS is not one of your aliases. I could say the same thing. I don't use none of those anymore. There's one that I use because that's who most people knew me as. Oh, my eyeball itches. Good Lord, man. Hey, I've got footage of a fire tornado. You want to see a fire tornado?
I think I've already seen it, but it'd be interesting to watch.
Let's finish these tornadoes, and then I'll see if I can dig up the fire tornado.
I know a fun fact about wind. Every time wind. Go ahead. Sorry. Every time the wind speed doubles, the amount of energy it produces quadruples.
Square root law. That's the same formula that dictates how many horsepower it takes to exceed like 100. I think it's 152 or 142 miles an hour, depending on the drag coefficient of the design of the body of the car, determines how much more horsepower you need to go from like 150 to 151. Because to get to 152 is going to take another 15% more or something like that. Is this crazy drag coefficient that defeats you, a law of diminishing returns, essentially. It's also the reason why blue whales are blue whales and not brontosauruses. And maybe one day I'll figure out how to explain what I mean by that. Like, blue whales are huge, brontosauruses are huge, but they're on a different magnitude of hugeness, right? As I understand it, blue whale is the largest creature to have ever existed on the earth ever, right? As far as we can tell. I mean, there might be a bigger whale, but it's probably just a bigger blue whale, to be honest. So, like, there comes a certain point where a creature that is technically cold-blooded would functionally be warm-blooded due to mass. Right? Anyway.
Yep.
I might be wrong on that.
Which you make.
Are your pronouns bop, deep, boop? Randomly search Caucasian methed up Sasquatch. I wouldn't do that, dude. I'm pretty sure you'll land on an OnlyFans. Strongly advised against it. As your lawyer, I advise against it. That's probably going to put you on the list, bro. Although I'm still trying my best to get Meth Gator made. I've even got like the whole scene worked out in my head. We can reuse the same cabin like at least 3 times by shooting it from 3 different perspectives. And we can pretend that they're all right on the water by doing like Deary Off the Wall did, and doing basically a distinguishing shot with a specific bush. Which is hilarious. I see you, bud. If I say so. Maybe. If I'm lucky. So what you got coming up for this fall? Coming up on Halloween time.
I'll be working. And then passing out candy, since I'm no longer considered young enough to go out and collect candy. I'd much rather collect it than pass it out.
Hold on now. Hold on. If you were a normal adult, you would be correct. But you have a superpower. You're on YouTube. You actually have a legitimate excuse to dress up just as gaudy as you want to. For the views, bro.
Good.
You could totally do it. Dude, I have a spot on outfit of a Mal from Serenity. A full brown coat gear. But I'm not a huge fan of Mal's gun. First of all, it's an extremely rare model. But beyond that, I prefer an Ara's gun, so I got one of those. Looks just like the fucking little ray pistol she was using. I like it. I like it. Y'all hear about the new Beetlejuice? What's up with this? They're saying Beetlejuice 2 2024. How they gonna do that with no writers? I bet it'll be great. I bet Michael Keaton will write on lines. It'll be fan fucking dude. It'll make $1 bajillion. Mark what I say.
I don't know. They were able to pull One Piece off and for a live action anime, they did great. Even though I'm upset about one part.
I mean, either they got scabs working overtime or they're doing it off the hip. And if they're doing it off the hip, I'll roll. Shit. That's good stuff, man. Not Squid Game's good, but like it's good stuff. I'm gonna watch that again tomorrow.
Compared to all the other live action anime they've tried, it's the only one that's actually succeeded in my opinion.
No, nothing live action anime has ever actually worked on any actual level. And One Piece does to the extent that it works, but you have to admit it's still a bit round eye.
They just can't be as creative as they can when they draw it. That's all. Now, like Cowboy Bebop wasn't too bad for live action. Everything else before that was just amazingly horrible. Dude. Like Dragon Ball was the worst live action I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, they typically with live action anime, they outdo themselves on terrible. They exceed their own expectations of horrendous every time. Like Dragon Balls was the worst live action Japan anime up until the next one came out, Avatar, and then Avatar was the worst up until the next one came. If One Piece has broken that trend, and we can hope that the franchise continues forward on the same footing it currently has and doesn't get deviated by money.
Hopefully. I mean, they have big shoes to fill after their first season now. The sad thing is all they would have to do is just copy it word from what's already made, and they'd be golden. They just don't do it.
Yeah, no, I think you're gonna find more of that with less writers. You catch my drift. Because it's been a long time since a faithful adaptation has taken place. It's always a reimagining, a rechristening, a reinstruction and proper thought etiquette.
Yeah, they should learn by now. All remakes are horrible. Well, 99% of them are horrible. There are some good ones, I guess.
Name one.
I don't know. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. Like I said, 99% of them are horrible.
The only one that really tickles my pickle on any serious level are the various It remakes. The first It was excellent. Tim Curry was so uncanny as Pennywise that it gave me and my brother to this day has nightmares about Pennywise. A 50-year-old grown man won't check the mail if you tie a red balloon to the mailbox. Fucking happening. Just nope. He'll pretend like he don't even see the mailbox till that red balloon's gone. It's hilarious, dude, to see that level of cognitive dissonance in action. Oh, Lord. Hey, dude, that's 2 hours. That's the show. You want to tell everybody bye or you want me to do it?
I'll say it real quick. Goodbye, good night. Good morning, good evening, good night. See you all in the next live stream from Ohio.
Absolutely.